Happiness may seem like a fleeting emotion, a smile on your face after good news or a warm feeling in your heart when you see someone you love. But behind this simple, universal experience lies a complex biochemical orchestra, the science of happiness hormones. A delicate dance of neurotransmitters and chemicals that shape our emotions, moods, and even our perception of life itself. The four primary happiness hormones, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins, act as the body's internal pharmacy, regulating not only how happy we feel, but also how motivated, connected, and content we are. Understanding the science behind these chemicals reveals not only why we feel joy, but also how we can consciously enhance our own happiness, rewiring our brains toward a more positive, fulfilling existence. At the center of this neurochemical symphony is dopamine, often called the reward molecule. Dopamine is released when we experience pleasure, achieve a goal, or anticipate something exciting. It's the reason we feel satisfaction after checking off a to-do list item, hitting a workout milestone, or receiving praise. But dopamine isn't just about fleeting pleasure. It's the foundation of motivation, driving us to pursue goals, take risks, and repeat behaviors that the brain perceives as rewarding. In essence, dopamine is the fuel of progress. It makes you chase dreams, crave success, and feel alive in the pursuit of purpose. However, dopamine can also be a double-edged sword. Our modern world, filled with constant notifications, likes, and digital instant gratification, can overstimulate this reward system, creating a dopamine loop that leaves us craving more but feeling emptier over time. The key, then, is balance. Channeling dopamine toward meaningful rewards, such as learning new skills, creative pursuits, or long-term goals that sustain rather than drain our motivation. Then there's serotonin, the mood stabilizer, a neurotransmitter that governs feelings of well-being, self-worth, and inner peace. Unlike dopamine, which spikes in short bursts, serotonin provides a steady sense of calm and contentment. It's deeply influenced by our lifestyle. Sunlight exposure, diet, sleep, and exercise all play crucial roles in serotonin production. Low serotonin levels are linked with depression, anxiety, and irritability, while healthy levels foster emotional resilience and optimism. From a biological standpoint, serotonin is synthesized from tryptophan, an amino acid found in foods like turkey, eggs, salmon, and nuts. But beyond biochemistry, serotonin is also shaped by social and psychological factors. Gratitude, mindfulness, and acts of kindness can naturally boost serotonin because they reinforce feelings of connection and purpose. This interplay between biology and behavior underscores a vital truth. Happiness is not purely chemical. It's also experiential. We can influence our serotonin levels not just through what we eat or how we move, but through how we think and interact with others. Gratitude journaling, time in nature, and meditation, all simple daily habits, can powerfully elevate serotonin, teaching the brain to find satisfaction in the present moment rather than perpetually seeking external validation. Next comes oxytocin, often called the love hormone or the bonding chemical. Oxytocin is released through human connection. Hugging, touching, eye contact, and even acts of empathy all stimulate its release. It's what makes us feel close to others, what deepens trust in relationships, and what allows mothers to bond with newborns. But oxytocin's reach goes far beyond romance or family. It's the foundation of community, compassion, and belonging. Studies show that oxytocin can lower blood pressure, reduce stress hormones like cortisol, and even boost immune function. When we share laughter, lend a helping hand, or engage in group activities, our oxytocin levels rise, creating a sense of emotional safety that reinforces social harmony. The irony of the digital age is that while we are more connected than ever virtually, physical and emotional disconnection has increased dramatically. Our oxytocin levels suffer when genuine face-to-face interactions are replaced by screens. To reclaim this crucial happiness hormone, we must return to the roots of human connection, meaningful conversations, affectionate gestures, acts of kindness, and shared experiences. Even simple things like petting a dog, expressing appreciation, or volunteering can flood the body with oxytocin, reminding us that happiness often grows strongest in the soil of connection. Then there are endorphins, the body's natural painkillers and mood elevators. Endorphins are released during physical activity, laughter, and even moments of stress or pain. They help us endure challenges and emerge stronger. The famous runner's high is a perfect example of endorphin release. After intense exercise, a euphoric calm sets in, melting away anxiety and pain. But endorphins aren't limited to athletes. They can be triggered by dancing, listening to music, laughing, or even eating spicy food. Evolutionarily, endorphins evolved to help humans survive, to keep moving, hunting, and fighting despite fatigue or injury. Today, they serve a more modern purpose, balancing our stress and energizing our spirits. Regular exercise, joyful movement, and laughter-based therapy are among the most effective natural ways to maintain healthy endorphin levels. In essence, endorphins are nature's way of saying, keep going. They reward resilience and remind us that even through discomfort, joy is possible. These 4 happiness hormones work not in isolation but in harmony, each contributing to a different dimension of well-being. Dopamine fuels ambition and reward, serotonin provides peace and contentment, oxytocin cultivates love and belonging, and endorphins generate resilience and joy. Together, they form a biochemical ecosystem that shapes our happiness baseline. Yet, the science of happiness isn't only about understanding these chemicals, it's about mastering the art of activating them intentionally. Modern neuroscience shows that our brains are remarkably plastic. With consistent habits, we can rewire our neural pathways to favor happiness and reduce negativity bias. Simple daily rituals like morning sunlight exposure, boosting serotonin, gratitude journaling, enhancing dopamine and serotonin, regular exercise, stimulating endorphins, and quality social time, raising oxytocin, can collectively create a powerful upward spiral of well-being. Over time, these habits don't just make us feel good, they alter our brain chemistry, making happiness a sustainable trait rather than a temporary emotion. One of the most fascinating aspects of happiness hormones is their interdependence. For instance, when you achieve a goal, dopamine, you often feel proud, serotonin. You might share your success with loved ones, oxytocin, and celebrate with laughter or activity, endorphins. Each experience cascades into another, weaving an emotional fabric that strengthens your psychological health. Conversely, when one of these hormones is out of balance, say dopamine depletion due to burnout or low serotonin from chronic stress, it can set off a chain reaction leading to fatigue, apathy, or depression. That's why holistic well-being practices matter so much. True happiness is multidimensional, requiring physical health, emotional connection, and mental clarity. Let's look deeper at the neuroscientific mechanisms behind each. Dopamine is produced in several brain regions, notably the substantia nigra and ventral tegmental area, and it interacts with reward centers like the nucleus accumbens and prefrontal cortex. When dopamine surges, it reinforces behaviors by making them pleasurable. But chronic overstimulation, from drugs, gambling, or social media, can desensitize receptors, dulling natural pleasure responses. Serotonin, produced in the raphe nuclei of the brainstem, regulates mood, sleep, appetite, and cognition. It's also found abundantly in the gut, which explains why diet and gut health profoundly influence mood, a fact supported by the emerging field of the gut-brain axis. Oxytocin, produced in the hypothalamus and secreted by the posterior pituitary gland, enhances social memory and empathy, forming the biochemical foundation for trust. Endorphins, released by the pituitary gland, bind to opioid receptors, blocking pain signals and creating feelings of euphoria. These chemicals are nature's way of balancing survival with pleasure, motivating us to connect, move, and grow. But the science of happiness isn't just about increasing hormones. It's also about managing the counterforces that suppress them. Chronic stress, poor sleep, isolation, and nutrient deficiencies can all disrupt hormonal balance. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is a major antagonist in this system. When it's elevated for long periods, it inhibits serotonin and oxytocin, making it harder to feel joy or trust. Similarly, lack of sleep reduces dopamine receptor sensitivity, while sedentary lifestyles blunt endorphin production. Therefore, nurturing happiness means not only stimulating positive hormones, but also minimizing the factors that drain them. This is why mindfulness, balanced nutrition, regular physical movement, and emotional self-care are not luxuries. They're biological necessities for a happy brain. Another fascinating dimension is how mindset and perception affect these hormones. The brain doesn't always distinguish between real and imagined experiences. Simply visualizing success or recalling positive memories can trigger dopamine. Gratitude and self-compassion activate serotonin pathways, while imagining loved ones or performing random acts of kindness stimulates oxytocin. Laughter therapy, comedy shows, or even smiling when you don't feel like it can spark endorphin release. In short, Happiness can be self-generated through intentional thought and behavior. The mind has biochemical power. This insight forms the foundation of positive psychology, a field that studies how people thrive, not just survive. Researchers like Martin Seligman and Barbara Fredrickson have shown that cultivating positive emotions can build lasting psychological resilience and even extend life expectancy. Happiness hormones also interact with aging and brain health. Dopamine levels naturally decline with age, contributing to lower motivation and slower cognitive processing. However, lifelong learning, social engagement, and physical activity can counteract this decline by maintaining neural pathways. Similarly, serotonin supports sleep and emotional regulation, crucial for cognitive longevity. Oxytocin-rich social bonds have been shown to protect against dementia, while endorphin-producing exercise enhances neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells. Thus, nurturing these hormones is not only about short-term happiness, but also about long-term brain vitality and resilience against neurodegenerative diseases. On a deeper philosophical level, the science of happiness hormones reminds us that joy is both a choice and a practice. We cannot control every circumstance, but we can influence our inner chemistry through daily actions: what we eat, how we move, who we connect with, and what we think. Happiness is not a random gift, but a skill that can be trained, molecule by molecule, habit by habit. The beauty of this science lies in its universality. Every human being, regardless of background, has access to these natural tools. You don't need wealth, fame, or luck to feel happy. You need connection, purpose, and awareness. In practical terms, we can cultivate happiness hormones through simple, evidence-based practices. To boost dopamine, set small, achievable goals, celebrate progress, and engage in creative hobbies that provide intrinsic satisfaction. To enhance serotonin, prioritize sunlight exposure, eat omega-3 rich foods, practice gratitude, and maintain good sleep hygiene. To increase oxytocin, spend quality time with loved ones, express appreciation, hug often, and engage in group or community activities. To elevate endorphins, move your body regularly, whether through running, dancing, yoga, or play, and don't forget to laugh often. Even combining these actions multiplies the effects. A morning walk with a friend, endorphins, plus oxytocin, plus serotonin, followed by journaling gratitude, serotonin plus dopamine, can set your brain chemistry toward joy for the entire day. Ultimately, the science of happiness hormones teaches us that happiness is not a mysterious emotion to be chased, but a biological state that can be cultivated. It's an ecosystem of chemical signals designed to reward behaviors that sustain life, love, and growth. When we align our habits with this natural design, balancing ambition with rest, connection with solitude, movement with stillness, we synchronize our biology with our purpose. The brain, in return, rewards us with energy, creativity, and serenity. The most profound truth is that the pursuit of happiness isn't about seeking something external. It's about tuning into the inner laboratory that nature has built within us. Happiness, at its core, is chemistry in motion, an ever-flowing dance of dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins that remind us that being alive, connected, and aware is itself the ultimate joy.